Here I am using my longer B1 to make another upgrade part, but not for a laser this time. But what I do want to just highlight, if you're using silicone tube, this is 10mm inside, 12mm outside. It's actually thin wall tube and it actually bends quite easily, but you can see this little thing here. Let me just zoom in. Can you see there's like a sheathing around the bottom of that tube? And I've used clear just to make sure I could see the tube didn't kink. But what that is heat shrink tubing that you would normally use on a electrical connection to insulate it. But I found out that what I did, the heat shrink tube over the silicone tube, heated it up with an air gun, and then I bent that curve about, I would say, 120 degrees, let the heat shrink cooled, and it sort of sprung back. Now, it doesn't have to be dead 90, because when it homes here, the laser body ends about here, and the silicone tube is here. You wouldn't have this plate. I just made that plate for a bit of advertising and to stop any debris going down on the electrical connection down there. So just the top tip of the day, if you are using silicone tubing, because maybe you've broken your aluminium air assist tube, so I just bought a brass serrated nozzle, and let me show you one of those. So here is one fitted. All you need is an M5 thread, and then you buy these brass bits on, and then you can just poke your silicone tube through there and it connects onto your air assist, and that is my 20 watt. So just doing a little bit of engraving here first. I hope these are going to be deep enough. Now I might have to do 2 more passes on those because I'm making a box to house some sensors to make an alarm system, and I want to make the alarm system sense over a 180-degree angle. So just designed a little box. You can see here and light burn the box, and I guessed I want to do it fast. This is 10,000. Let me just check what it is. 10,000 at 70, only 2 passes. I think I'm going to need another 2 passes on that. I'm just going to have to put my cover back on because you can see all the smoke escaping. Here, this is clear heat shrink tubing, and this is what it looks like before. So I just cut off a length, heated it up with a hot air gun. You could, if you haven't got a hot air gun, might be able to do it over a gas cooker. I don't think a lighter would work because that's quite a big bit of heat shrink tubing. If you're doing it over gas, just be careful you don't burn yourself. And it doesn't need to shrink down really tight. The idea is that this helps you mold the 90-degree angle to stop the tube kinking. So, oh yeah, there's my fine focus system. So I've almost, let me just zoom in. I've almost perfected this. I've got one little tweak left to do, and I think it'll be perfect, and then I'll be happy to release the files. You can see I've made a new grate on the top. That not only lifts the module up and down, but it actually takes the harsh fan noise away. It's still loud because this is the 30 watt module. It has a slightly bigger fan than the 20 watt module, but yeah, that all comes in the kit anyway. Oh yeah, look, no locking screws down that side. This mount just slides up and down. So it's a fantastic device, but I would say that because I designed it. I'm just going to show you on my 20 watt laser how I actually did it. So this is the M5 barb that you buy to replace the air assist. Now I'm going to push my tube on, and I've marked the end of the nozzle, and you can see if you bend the tube, it really wants to kink. Like here, it's kinked. So it happens easier on the bigger bore tube. So all I've done now is I've cut my a strip of heat shrink, so slightly wider than the laser, a finger distance. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the heat gun. You need to find something to insert up the tube to actually stop it compressing. So here we are. I've found some round wire, which is anything flexible, goes in the tube. Doesn't have to be a tight fit. You can see there, that's a loose fit. You can see that I'm gripping there. You can see the tubes coming up. Put the heat shrink on your mark, and then I'm going to hold that in front of a hot air gun. And as that starts to shrink, so don't put it too close to the hot air gun because you want it to shrink slowly. And then I'm going to bend that to about 120-degree angle, because I found that when you release it, it will spring back. So I've just put the air gun on a low heat, twisting this around to try and get it to shrink evenly. Don't put it too close to the air gun. You see it's now starting to shrink. Pulling it back, so I want it just to grip the tube. Okay, now bending it much more than 90 degrees. Let the heat shrink go cold. Might just have to warm it up again at the end there because there's a lip there, and that's going to affect me pushing it in the 10mm hole on the side of the laser. That's still quite warm, but you can see that's holding it shut. So I'm just going to warm up the end of this tube here because I want this one to grip here. You can see now we've got a 90-degree angle-ish, and this part is gripped really well. Reminder to self, when using a hot glue gun, clean up after you. So now I'm going to pull out my silicone tube, my silicone wire, and you can see we've got a nice 90-degree bend, and it's keeping its shape. So now when I put that on my laser, you get the advantage that it will still flex. So if you're bumping up against the side of your Ray 5, because the Ray 5 has less room than the B1, it will still flex. So let me go and put that on the laser now and see how well I can push that in and out. So here we are with my 20 watt. Got to be careful because the fan is off on this one. So you can see that I'm going to be pushing this through. You can see that, and the heat shrink gives it a bit more strength. It's actually now easier to push in and out of the to get it onto the barber there, and you can see that's the sort of curvature. And for my bend I did there, I could have made it tighter. That's about 45mm center, or what's that, 1.75 inches. I could trim this down if I wanted to. If I wanted to get this closer to that, I could trim that off and push that in there, then it'd be even tighter. Let me just try that for you, because I can always make another one. In fact, what I did, I just pulled the silicone tube back a bit, because this is not super gripping, the silicone, so it actually moved. So now let me just try and push that back in. Yeah, it's a bit tighter now to get through the hole, so that's the disadvantage. If you wiggle that in, that fits, and it's now 35mm, or just under 1.5 inches. So that's tighter, so that would probably fit the Ray 5 better. But you know, you can do this a few times, because you can either pull the silicone tube out of the heat shrink or gently cut that off and redo it. But this is, yeah, this one's too tight now. This is, yeah, this is 8mm. So 8mm with heat shrink through the standard side hole is a little bit stiff. It's doable. So let me see if I can push that back. Yeah, see, I can just push that back enough, put it round back to my mark, and then that just goes through easier. I need a little bit more. Yeah, I like that better.
Anyway, hope that you find that top tip helpful today. That's Andy as ever. Wishing you a great afternoon. Continue to make that happy, safe smoke, and perhaps you'll join me in my next video. Cheers for now.
Thank you for making it to the end of my videos, much appreciated. If you like what I'm doing and I've earned your trust and respect, perhaps you would consider subscribing. If you leave a comment, I will answer them as well. And if you give me a thumbs up, it will put a smile on my face. Perhaps you would like some of the videos popping up now. See you in the next one.